Everyone, it's Andreas. I'm back with another annual personal growth update. And so, for those of you who've never seen my videos or follow any of my content, every year I make a recap about everything I learned in the past year. And I am super excited to talk about this annual recap because this year has by far been the most challenging and the most rewarding year of my entire life. I've never taken so much risk. I've never experienced so many new things ever than this last year. And so, just a quick reminder, the reason why I make these videos is because I really love to challenge myself and I love to push myself and I want to fulfill my potential. And I think my purpose here on this earth is to help others fulfill their potential. And to do that, I love sharing any type of insight or growth lesson that can maybe help someone find inspiration to go after what they want and to reach the highest, best version of themselves. And so, this year has been insane in terms of new things happening. I moved to a new apartment. I've started different relationships, which were huge learning opportunities and growth opportunities. I did a ton of traveling. I traveled across the United States, first time traveling since COVID. I just got back from a huge international Europe trip, which was amazing. I got a new job, which was really hard to lock down, but I was really proud of all the work I put in there. I actually got laid off after 6 months, which was a whole nother thing, but I'm still really grateful for that opportunity. I've built out a lot of really great new friendships. Shout out to my friends Marco, Hannah, Corey, Monty, Cortland, of course. I love you guys so much, and I love the support that we have for each other and the way that we push each other and challenge each other. So I really appreciate you guys. I focus more on launching my personal growth blog on Medium, so I've really dedicated myself to writing a lot more and talking more about certain topics of personal growth and things that I've learned and things that I still question and seek to understand. And then another thing is I really dedicated myself to the gym a lot more. So for about a good 3 to 4 months, the last 3 to 4 months, I've been in the gym consistently. I've really followed a good workout plan, and it's really helped continue to polish off my confidence and make me feel a bit more, optimistic about health in general. So but again, in summary, this has just been the craziest year of my entire life, and I'm super grateful for everything I learned. So the first lesson I learned overall this year is that your ability to take risk is your most valuable asset. I think everything that is worth having in your life comes with risk. And, if it scares you, if it's daunting, if it terrifies you, good. It should do that because, it's something that you've never done before. Sorry. And, it's something you haven't experienced. And so, for example, taking a huge trip or applying for a new job or anything like that, it takes a lot of risk and vulnerability and putting yourself out there. And, by putting yourself out there, you're also risking that you might not get what you want and things might not end up your way and you'll be disappointed. And everything you thought was, going to happen just didn't happen. And so, you have to be prepared to handle that. And, I really dedicated myself to taking as much risk as possible and constantly shooting my shot. I love that term, shoot your shot. If there's one thing about me, I'll always shoot my fucking shot no matter what, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know the possibilities of, where just asking could take you. So, take risk, make your move, and then let the universe make its move. And, just knowing that you put yourself out there, you will be playing, knowing that you're putting yourself out there, you'll be playing and living in reality, not not living in fear and not living in something you made up, but you'll know where you stand. The second biggest learning I had this year is understanding the idea of leaving behind good for great and sacrificing, something that might be okay for something that could be better and could be a better fit. And I think I really learned this when it came to relationships, unfortunately. And it was a really, really hard learning. It was very, very emotionally painful. But, I think some of the most painful things that we experience sorry. Some of the most painful things that we experience really help us understand our worth. And, it's daunting to feel like, is this might be the best I ever have. Like, if I say no to this, it might not be better. Anything like a job or a relationship specifically, or even just understanding any certain behaviors or habits that you have going on, really looking at those and seeing, is there something I could be doing that is a better option for me here, that's either healthier or a better fit for me, and understanding when you should pursue those things and when you should consider, leaving something behind and moving forward. It's probably one of the toughest decisions you can make, but it is extremely brave, and it really speaks to your ability to go after what you want and not settling for something that is mediocre and doesn't fit with who you are. And I think there's a lot of freedom in that. And, lastly, I also think what's important is having a good understanding of idealism and when you might be pursuing something that, is a bit too idealistic. Nothing is ever perfect. We can't have things that are, perfect. There's flaws in everything. And so understanding when you are in the best possible situation and not really pushing for anything more, not being greedy, but being reasonable about, your worth and what you deserve. The last lesson I learned in the last year is the saying, whatever you prioritize, you will get. And this saying is so meaningful to my life because it has liberated me emotionally from a lot of worry that I have, and knowing that, whatever I want, I can get. I just have to make it a priority. And I first heard about this saying from an entrepreneur named Naval Ravikant, who has a couple books. He's been on a ton of podcasts, super smart dude. And he talked about the same idea. But I also heard about it a few weeks later from Mel Robbins, who is a super inspirational, motivational speaker, really great content as well. And she talks about the same idea. And then lastly, I started reading The Alchemist, and the author of The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, I think is his name, talks about this same idea of that, the universe will conspire to get you what you want. And I kind of see this as like a universal truth in my mind now, is that, whatever you really want, you can get if you just make it a priority, whether it's a job, a lifestyle, losing weight, or reaching a specific goal, getting your PhD, your master's, locking down a C-level position, anything. Like your potential is limitless. And, don't ever feel disempowered, or don't ever feel like you can't do it, because I think it's possible. And so, I kind of live by that principle now of that, whatever I want, I can get. So those are all the things I learned in the last year, and I hope it inspires you a bit and gives you some confidence to go out and continue doing what you do and going after what you want. And I'm really grateful that you listen to this, and I'm really grateful that, I have people who enjoy the content that I make here. So thanks, everyone.